I'm Deepali Aneja, and today I'm presenting our project on conversational error analysis in human-agent interaction. This work is in collaboration with Daniel Mcduff and Mary Czerwinski from Microsoft Research. Conversational agents are becoming widely used for various tasks in domains and settings like personal assistants, shopping assistants, customer service agents, and so on. This increasing usage is driven by recent advances in artificial intelligence and natural language processing, leading to improvements in conversational richness and robustness. However, there are many ways in which these conversational agents can fail and fall short of human expectations, which we refer as conversational errors. Here is an example where an agent gives an inappropriate response when asked a question about watching a movie together. The user is asking what movie to watch tonight, and the agent, being trained on a certain data set, responds in an inappropriate way. So, with the prioritization of conversational systems such as Alexa and Siri, researchers have evaluated human agent interactions, but this is usually done in limited task domains for interaction. Very little work has been done on generalized agent systems, especially in case of non-topic oriented, open-ended human agent conversations. Also, studying conversational interaction with the agents is challenging as widely agreed upon error success metrics for evaluation is lacking. So in our work, we handle these challenges and we make valuable contributions to the design of conversational agents on three fronts. First, to our knowledge, we believe our work is the first to observe and analyze conversational agent errors in open-ended human-agent interactions. Second, to study the impact of conversational errors on the perception of the agent. And third, to analyze the user's facial expressions as responses to these errors. For our work, we developed an expressive embodied conversational agent using a publicly available high-fidelity avatar that is capable of over 5-minute multi-turn conversations with a user. Here we show an overview of the agent design. We built components to sense and analyze the audio signal from the user to generate the agent speech in response to the user's utterance. We also sense and analyze users' video feed for synthesizing the agent's expressive facial response. Now we will go into the details of the agent architecture. Here is in the overview of the agent. The system uses a fusion of both microphone and a webcam input to drive the embodied conversational agent. The audio pipeline detects the user's voice activity, performs speech recognition, processes the audio to synthesize the agent's speech. In parallel, the video pipeline detects the user's face in order to detect the user's head pose and synthesize the agent's head pose and lip motions. And by combining both, we synthesize embodied conversational agent output in response to user's input. To analyze various kinds of conversational errors, we conducted a user study with 54 participants interacting with the conversational agent during extended conversations. We used 3 self-reporting survey instruments: anthropomorphism, likability, perceived intelligence, to capture the experience of the participants after completion of all the tasks. Regarding the tasks for our study, we designed these tasks focused on social interaction scenarios like planning a lunch meeting or planning to watch a movie together or planning a trip to another country. And these tasks were approximately lasted for 5 minutes and leading over 25 hours of accumulated data across participants. In our work, we identified the conversational errors we actually observed during the open-ended human-agent conversation to come up with 5 error categories, named as here: coherence, turn-taking error, clarification error, user repetition error, and agent repetition error. Now we will go into the details of these errors observed during our user study, and we will also show you an example for each kind of error. The first kind of conversational error observed in a user study is a coherence error. A coherent response occurs when the agent gives an irrelevant or an incomprehensible response to a user's utterance. Here is an example from a task where the user is discussing a real estate purchase from the agent.
What type of windows does it have?
Windows 7.
I would also like to note that there's a delay in agent's response, and the users were notified about the delay in agent's response due to the architecture. The next kind of error is turn-taking error that is characterized by an interruption caused by the agent while the user is speaking. Here's an example of a task where the user is introducing themselves and talking about personal life, for example, just family and other related things.
I was wondering if we can get to know each other.
I'm not sure if he did or not.
Tell me something about your family.
Sure you can find out for yourself.
The next class of error we recognize is a clarification error. A clarification is described when the user corrects the agent after an erroneous or an incoherent response. Here's an example of that error.
Do you have any favorite movies?
I really like the Marvel movies. Which movies do you like?
I like the Iron Man movies too. Have you watched them?
I hope you enjoy the rest of the movie.
I am not watching a movie right now. I am just talking to you.
The next class of error is a user repetition error that is characterized by when the user repeats the utterance in order to get an appropriate response by the agent.
Does the car come with a warranty?
Yes, it does. I will let you know.
What is the warranty on the car?
I don't have a warranty on the warranty.
What is the warranty on the car?
The last kind of error is an agent repetition error that is characterized when the agent repeats its utterance during the conversational interaction.
Do you have a favorite mountain bike?
Yes, my full suspension bike.
Do you have a favorite bike?
Yes, my own bike.
We annotated all the participant interaction videos for 5 categories of conversational errors. And in this table, we show the total number of errors and the mean and standard deviation in the number of errors across all the users in our study. The error rate for each kind of error, as we show, was calculated by dividing the frequency of error occurrence by the total number of the utterances. We also computed 2 facial affect attributes, valence and arousal, from the participants' video data to study the facial expression responses to these errors during the human-agent interaction. Now we will show the results from the metrics and the facial attribute analysis. We start with the perception of the agent. We computed the Pearson correlation between the error rates for all the participant interactions and the 3 key perceptual metrics: anthropomorphism, likability, and perceived intelligence of the agent. Here in this table, we show correlations between each error type and the perception of the agent. As you can see in the highlighted green and red bars, green shows a positive correlation between the incoherent error rate and the likability of the agent, and all the other highlighted red chart regions show negative correlation. Now we will go into the detail for the statistically significant results. First one is correlation with likability rating. Participants reported significantly greater perceived likability interacting with the agent when it gave more incoherent responses. In contrast, perceived likability of the agent was significantly lower with a greater number of turn-taking errors, as shown in the scatter plots. One potential explanation could be that these incoherent responses from the agent are more in line with the user's expectations of a more approachable, human-like agent that will likely make logical mistakes, and some of these could be amusing, similar to when speaking to a small child. Whereas speaking out of turn was perceived as more rude, where participants did not like that conversation. The next one is correlation with anthropomorphism. Participants also perceived the agent to be significantly less intelligent when the agent repeated its responses, and also when the agent had to clarify phrases as shown in the scatter plots. Specifically, this means the agent's repetitive behavior renders this user's perception as less knowledgeable because the participant could be talking about a very different topic, and the agent might still be giving a response to the previous topic. This could be the result of overly training the agent or on intent specific scripted responses and resulting in the agent repeating an utterance even after clarification from the participant. The last correlation is with anthropomorphism. Participants' perception of anthropomorphism regarding the agent's repetition error and clarification error was also significantly lower, as shown in the scatter plots. This suggests that if the agent repeated the same utterance and if the need for clarification is more frequent, it makes the agent appear less human-like and more machine-like. We also analyzed users' facial responses to these errors, and we found significant positive correlation between agents' incoherent responses and the rise of participants' expressed valence, that is positive emotion. Here in this graph, we show an example of a valence trace for a 2-minute interaction with a particularly high number of coherence error. So red bar shows the timing of the coherence error, and the green bar shows the peak of the emotion valence, which is a positive emotion. Notice that the peaks in valence that occur shortly after the error, this result, along with positive correlation, suggests that incoherent responses trigger positive facial responses. We did not find a significant correlation or causality between error rates and either of the participants' valence and arousal. To conclude, based on the analysis of errors in approximately 25 hours of interaction between humans and the artificial conversational agent, we have found that different types of errors impact perceptions of an agent in different ways. Additional analysis of users' facial responses that followed these errors revealed that coherence errors were associated with positive valence in facial expressions, suggesting that people find these errors amusing and perhaps explain why coherence errors were correlated with increased likability. We also found that the repetition by the agent and corrections by the human significantly decreased the perceived intelligence and anthropomorphism of the agent, whereas turn-taking errors significantly decreased the likability of the agent. The positive or the valence, smile and laughter responses and higher likability ratings when the agent gave an incoherent response suggest that the participants were more accepting of the coherence errors versus turn-taking errors. In many cases, it appeared that they found coherence errors also entertaining. We've also released the transcripts and the error annotations from our data set as agent conversation error that is available. Thank you so much for listening to the talk, and now I can take any questions.